clicks and clacks, building blocks, let's begin. Stacks on stacks, with beards we always win. In a world of plastic, our minds spin. Brick by brick, where do we dive in? Brickin' with the beard, we never stop. Talking pieces, colors going over the top. Custom sets, landscapes, got a shop. Tunes drop, make the hobby pop. From vintage sets to modern themes, minifig dreams with studs and seams. Castle walls, spaceship beams. Listen close, hear the gear screams. Connecting fans, yo, that's the plan. Building bonds piece by piece, man. Every episode more than just sand. Confidence grand, bricks in hand.
What is going on? What is up, everybody? How are y'all doing?
Shaking.
Chilling.
Chilling.
Random minifigures.
Big chilling.
I'm trying to figure out how to build this Lumi Brix set that they sent me.
I'm trying to figure out how many more episodes I have to be on before I can be on a clip for that intro.
All you got to do is go. Well, I'll have to walk you through the process. Look, if I got George to learn how to do it, you're no problem.
You're in good hands.
No, he's talking about being on the intro video.
I know, that's what I'm saying. If I taught George how to do it, George was like, "Wait a minute, what do I got to do?" I'm like, "You literally just film yourself and then hit stop recording. It saves itself, and I'll take care of the rest."
I only had to call him once.
I think I can handle that.
Yeah, he called me and was like, "Wait a minute."
You told me on a Wednesday night. Saturday morning, I tried doing it. I had slept a lot, man.
We got some people in the chat already. David C. Krause. Andrew said, guys, don't be hating on Caden. Nobody's hating on Caden.
What did I do? We haven't even started yet.
Look, me and George have taken this innocent Caden that y'all see, and we've molded him into being this Caden that he won't show on camera. Other than drilling Lego. We did get him to drill Lego live.
That is true. And now that picture forever lives on the internet. Thank you for that.
Video? What are you talking about?
Or sorry, no, screenshot. My apologies. Well, the video is also on the internet. It's on your channel.
Hey, whatever goes on the internet never goes away, buddy.
Exactly. Dude, there's so many like random videos. All of them are on Beyond the Bricks channel. Everything from me voice cracking, me dabbing for like 5 minutes straight, smashing a cake in my face, shirtless in the pouring down rain. There's a lot of really interesting content on the internet.
The links to that, I no longer need you to record anything. We'll just use that footage.
Use that as my intro video.
Oh man, Caden, I just found the perfect thing you need that I didn't sell you.
Oh boy, here we go.
Perfect caliber bloop gun.
So Richard, my calendar keeper over here, just reminded me that Mr. David C. Krause had a birthday this week.
Did he? He's what, 13, 14 now?
21.
David, wait. David, I will say, David just spoke the truth right there. Caden has to pay the $1 million fee for the entrance.
That's a little rich for my blood.
No, you got it. I'll take off.
Yeah?
I'll take off double whatever you just spent with George to give you a break.
Well, happy birthday, David.
Fair enough. Yeah, happy birthday.
I got Marty Becker in the chat too.
Marty.
Cajun AFOL in the house, Cascadia Bricks, and Marty Becker. You can kind of think of this as like your birthday party if you really wanted to be that lame.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't invite Richard to my birthday party, but that's just me.
I wouldn't invite myself to my own birthday party. So far in this like fun hole set, I don't really quite understand it. The first page said to dump out bags 1 through 7. And I don't. That's not true at all. But these little LED lights, it's wanting
what about
me
a fun hole?
Yeah, it's called a fun hole. They're wanting me to go ahead and like undo them, and
It's all about a fun hole.
Don't want to undo them yet.
You gotta drill a hole in the plate. It makes the wiring go through easier.
Well, I might.
Richard, will your drill Chinesium?
I don't know.
Magnesium. I like that one.
You may have to heat the blade or the drill bit up first with a lighter.
Crimson Toaster says, I'm on the way to Brick World Chicago. Sorry if I lose service. I hope you have a safe trip either way. Cascadia says, happy birthday. David C. Krause said, thank you, and $600 lighter. I hope if it's your birthday, you're $600 heavier.
Or he went and spent a lot of money at the Lego store.
So I've been praising these. I don't know if you've been on an episode that we showed them or not, Caden, but the One Piece sets.
Yeah, we've been talking. The last 2 episodes I've been on, we were talking about them.
So all the prices got like put up, and it's going to be like $630 for everything.
Cool. So I get to save $630.
Wow, I might spend $630. I'm not buying the Star Wars sets.
Oh, that's fair. You can do the trade off. I'll buy all the Star Wars stuff. You buy all the One Piece stuff.
That's why
You
he's
need to
trying to
buy
buy
all my
all
Star
those
Wars
sets
stuff.
without figs.
Do what?
Yeah, he's out here trying to scalp me.
I'm not trying to scalp you. I told you that I'll tell it to you with figs. I just said that some of those sets, whenever
Just
I
not
had
the high
all
dollar figs.
whenever I had all that stuff, it was all back here on the shelf.
Yeah,
When it was on the shelf, I never had any of the minifigures displayed.
sure.
They're all in tackle boxes, and the way
No, I
it's
got it.
done is the tackle boxes have sections to what set they go to. So I have to like go find them. It's not like they're in the bag, is what I was saying.
Yeah.
I
Now,
just
I'm
think
honestly like genuinely curious as to why the 2013 gunship without figs, without book, without box is like $300. Like that's insane. Because even some of them that I was looking at on Bricklink didn't even have the stickers.
Well, explain to me how it's with figs and without anything, it's $200. I mean, $300. With everything, it's $600.
I got nothing for you. That's why I don't buy old Star Wars stuff. I buy all the new stuff. Or I just, lowball George.
I was waiting for you to lowball me, but you never did.
That's true. I never did. Well, I was looking at it again. I was like, okay, there's actually nothing in there that I need. I would still consider the Darth Vader meditation one. And like with figs on Bricklink, that one goes for like $35-$40.
Yeah,
But-
it just has Vader in it, right?
It's Vader and General Veers in the Imperial Navy officer uniform.
I lowballed you. I told you $5 a set. No figs.
Yeah, it's like I offered $450, take it or leave it, but he didn't want it.
You said $5 a bag, and I just asked how many bags you wanted. Let's
All of
get
them.
that straight. We've got proof.
Honestly, at $5 a bag, I'd buy them all.
Really?
I'd make so much money off of that. Yeah.
Deal,
Heck yeah.
because I'm going to do the bags.
How many
You're gonna
bags per
empty the
set?
bags.
Well, if it's a 250-piece set, you're getting 251 bags.
Oh, what a dick.
Say he's gonna like empty them all and then fill each bag so you get like random pieces from a bunch of different sets.
No, I'm going to put one piece in each bag.
Gene, Tori, you need to teach Richard how to bag stuff. All
They
pieces.
taught me how to
one
make
bag.
money, not how to bag stuff.
We got
Yeah.
Colton in the
Yeah.
chat now too.
Yeah, I'm finally glad I know his name versus trying to say DRC 33333.
DR3X 47,509. Yeah.
Yeah, say all weekend it was DRC 3333333333 times 33.
We times it in there.
Dave
I
got
don't
a
know,
bunch
like,
of stuff for his
To the
birthday.
33rd power or something. I'm not.
Well, his
Right.
Discord is like
One,
69 threes,
Bumblebee,
which is
Yeah.
Well, I'm
ironically
gonna tell y'all
the
guys what this show is not interesting sometimes, but if George starts doing math that involves fractions, just log on.
Woo!
Just
what is a
log on.
fraction?
It's that little line that separates the top number and the bottom number.
You know what those top number and the bottom number are called?
The
Oh,
numerator and the denominator.
thank you, Gene.
I'll say I was gonna wait for George to not know that.
Oh, dude, I
Really
know
not.
I'm old. I can't remember half that crap.
Only been a few decades since you were in public school. It's fine.
You got me there. Dude, simple math. You can ask my wife. When we're playing Yahtzee, I can't add up a Yahtzee score. We're the crap.
Yeah.
But if you give me some random out of the blue super duper equation, I can figure it out pretty quick. I don't know what it
24
is.
times 17.
Oh, shut up.
68.
It's random, not that random.
Random,
Well-
not that random. I'm not sure I understand a damn thing that meant.
Did you ever learn the nines trick in
What
school?
was it, Richard?
Yeah, I know the
24 times 17?
Yeah.
You say 24 times 17? It's probably somewhere around 428.
Yeah, but you're looking at a calculator.
He said
No,
4
I'm
times
not.
17.
He doesn't even have his phone.
I don't even have my phone.
I thought he
believe that.
said 24 times 17.
Oh, I heard.
I don't even remember what I said, to be completely honest.
because 4 times 17 is 68.
That's the first sign of getting old, Richard.
Maybe.
I mean, he may not have his phone, but his computer in front of him probably has a calculator on it.
So I'll have to say that with this fun hole set, I just realized that these arms were on backwards.
Okay.
So I tried to pull it off and I ripped the arm in half.
Nice.
Well,
I honestly, I still can't get over the fact it's called a fun hole. That's where I'm at still.
Well,
yes,
they
Andrew.
named it
I hope
Lumi Bricks, but Lumi
I hope
Bricks
to have
isn't-
the ship done before the next World War brick.
Lumi Bricks isn't as fun to say as Fun Hole.
It's true. See, and now because Richard didn't go to World War Brick, he's never going to be one with the cream team.
That's
I'll
true.
pass on that though. That's
Cajun Fall.
That was probably one of the highlights of that trip. I'm not going to lie.
do I want to know what the cream team is?
I
Ooh.
mean, so we went to get ice cream. What was that, Saturday night after the auction? And we walk in and we get our ice cream. And I turn around while we're waiting, and there's a like little clothing rack that has their merch on it or whatever. And they had a beanie, and in like tiny fine print, it said like the M and ice cream or whatever the place was called. But above that, in massive text, just says cream team. So I got back in line and I bought one of those, and then for the entire rest of the weekend, we were the cream team.
I showed Haley, so Haley did not get our insider joke. I'm not gonna say it live.
There's a lot of insider jokes now.
Yeah, but the main one.
Okay.
So I explained to her what it was going on, and I was like, now the funny thing is I was like, it's on a World War brick shirt that got like auctioned off or something. I was like,
It's on a World War brick shirt that got auctioned off. It's on Cameron's like event shirt that we all signed. It'll be on George's ship in more than one location, most likely. Yeah.
is it worth buying all? Well, see, here's what me and Caden were talking about. If we, we're gonna do this whole supporter thing, but a 1x2 tile isn't as fun
As a 1x8.
Yeah, as a 1x8.
Now, I mean, I guess like, because so you could. No, I guess you have to like buy all 3 in like the bundle to get the extra figurine thing. Because if you just bought all 3 separately and you get the tile for each one,
Yeah.
you don't get the extra figure.
So it's a toss. Do you want 3 different size tiles with no extra fig and the 1x8 tile, or do you want the 1x8 tile with extra fig but no small tiles?
I mean, all I'm saying, I could probably get, for what we're going to save on this, I could probably get about 50 tiles printed.
I was going to say, if you reach out to Dan, he would probably print some extra tiles for a couple bucks.
I'm sure he would. Honestly, I even know a guy to go to with like no filter too.
Yes.
I'm just gonna like ship you a box, and it's just be a like palette full of dark gray tiles, all printed.
Wait, so
Caden, the critical question is Goonies.
Yep, Cajun Fall wants to know.
So I did watch Goonies. I watched it on my flight to World War Brick while surrounded by middle schoolers. The initial thought, like it was a good movie. I'm sure it was a lot better when it came out compared to like other movies nowadays. And I figured out why I had never watched it, because like growing up, I couldn't do scary things, and so like skeletons and all that like wasn't the vibe. I did find it pretty entertaining. The only person in that movie that I knew was one of the 2 young girls, because she's also in
you don't know who Corey Feldman is?
Summer Rental, I think.
Josh
is what it is.
Brolin?
Yeah, you don't know who Josh Brolin is?
Not by name.
Sean Astin?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna start looking.
Sean Astin is literally the Hobbit.
Samwise
what?
Gamgee.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, when he's 9 versus like, okay,
He looks the same. He's just
all right, yeah. So I do know him. Okay, Josh Brolin, I know.
Corey Feldman, you have to know.
Corey Feldman. Who
Man,
else
he's been
is,
in like 94 movies.
He's Mouth.
what else is he in? Hold on.
Everything.
That doesn't help me. Goonies, Ninja Turtle. Okay, I mean I've seen the Ninja Turtles, but it wouldn't have been his face. I don't think there's a single other movie on here that I've seen.
Well, you
if
need to
don't
get
watch,
watching.
wasn't his
good
big one
movies.
Lost Boys though?
Yes.
He is in Lost Boys. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, but if you don't like scary stuff like that, you're not gonna like that. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not scary, but
Yeah, there's not a single movie he's in that I've seen aside from Goonies.
I'm not gonna lie. I had a dumb moment today. I was thinking about Goonies. You watching it?
Yeah.
It's like, man, isn't Corey Feldman the lead singer for Slipknot? Nope.
that hurts me on so many levels.
Different guy.
Different guy.
That hurts me on so many levels.
Okay, all right. So there's
That'd be
like three
awesome
people in this
hell,
movie that I know. Maybe, well, two.
Corey Tyler.
Corey Taylor.
Tyler. It's a great band. That's all I
No
know.
tomato.
Right?
I do know who the young Asian kid was because he's also Short Round in Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's Data.
Yeah. That one I knew right away. The other one I had no idea. Wait, he plays Mikey, so he's the main kid? Wait, all right, hold on.
Giving George a hard time. What's 4 times 8, George?
32.
Okay, you got that one. Spartan was testing you.
My hearing's not so good either.
What?
Huh?
Exactly.
Does anybody
Yeah.
know when doing
I
one of
went
these?
back and
sets?
watched one of them auction videos that Cameron sent to me. Y'all,
Yeah.
what?
Okay, so he might look the same, but compared to what he looks like in Goonies to what he looks like in the Lord of the Rings, there was no way I was putting that together.
What about Rudy?
He's in Rudy too?
He's the main character.
Is he really?
He's Rudy.
I mean, it has been a minute since I've seen that movie, but okay. Yeah, I'll give you that one. That one I would have been able to like, oh yeah, that's Samwise, but
He's also
50
the
First
boyfriend
Dates.
in Stranger Things.
haven't seen that either, so.
Stranger Things or 50 First Dates?
I've seen 50 First Dates. I have not seen Stranger
He's
Things.
in 50 First Dates also.
Yes, I have never seen Stranger Things.
He's the brother, right? Who's always
Yeah.
wearing like mesh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like ready for a rave constantly.
Yeah. Oh, I hurt Cajun Naples' feelings. Sorry, Cajun Naple.
Somebody's hurting my feelings. Where do they put the like cloth?
All right,
pieces?
Cascadia, that's just
Probably in your fun hole.
It probably is, but I don't know where the fun hole's located. I'm skipping that. I'm skipping
Says
the
every
minifigs.
guy ever.
I don't like these minifigs.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know. I'm just they're
I
not
have
like
a mega block on my desk. Oh my gosh.
you found a mega block?
It's a mega block.
Ooh.
I'm a purist. I can't have that.
Bury it deep inside the mountain. Nobody will ever know.
I just beamed it across the room.
Ah.
I mean, I could just throw it inside Hacksaw and just listen to it like jiggle around or rattle around.
You'll step on it later.
Are you telling me that we should take your set and throw random bricks in it at Brick Fair?
What, Hacksaw?
Yeah.
Like pop off a landscape piece and just throw random shit in it?
Yeah.
I mean, you're welcome to.
I've got 4,000 pieces upstairs of a ship that is not Lego that'll make a pretty cool rainmaker sound that's about to go in the trash if no one wants it. So
Yeah, I'm hoping that before Brick Fair, because I have a lot of work as an understatement to finish before Brick Fair, but if I have a chance, I'm going to build into the sidewall a panel that like hinges out so people can see that it's hollow. But
Hey, Richard, you still want those rubber band goggles from Minifig Cat? Tan or reddish brown?
You didn't tell me you had goggles.
You didn't ask.
It's true.
either,
I have
either
a
one, it doesn't really matter.
I have probably 30 or 40 of the tan ones.
I'll buy some off you.
Maybe 10 of the reddish brown.
I'll take the tan one since you got so many.
I want 10 of them.
We'll talk later.
I went to go
No.
buy some, and they're like non-existent anymore.
Yeah, you can't get them in the U.S. anymore, unfortunately. Minifig Cat just kind of like disappeared.
I got a lot of minifig cat stuff.
Yeah, I have a lot of the goggles in black. I have some of the old headsets too. But some guy at Brickworld last year had a bag of like military-esque stuff, and he came over to me. He's like, "Do you know what any of this stuff is?" And I'm like going through it, and he's like, "Do you want to buy it?" It's like, I mean, how much are you trying to get for it? He's like, I don't know, like $30. It's like, sure. It's like, I'll take that for. And I went and like sorted it all out between all the like plate carriers and helmets and like night vision goggles, all that stuff. I mean, that was well over $30 for the stuff.
I only own one pair of goggles, and the only reason I bought it was because the pretty sure it was next to the Panzer Brick Lab setup last year. But there was a guy who had one of the Lego SEALs with a helmet and the goggles for a Navy SEAL. So I literally went and bought everything to make that because I thought that was hilarious.
Nice.
Cascadia said, George, since you said you're not good at complex equations, what is the derivative of
You're
that?
about 5 minutes late, Richard. We already passed on that.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, you were talking about your fun hole.
Spartan says they're forbidden Lego. This is noted for Brick Fair. Y'all giving me ideas.
Yeah. See, George, you just got to sell him all the goggles, and then I'll buy them from him at Brick Fair.
Oh, that'll work. I've already got one package. Should be there tomorrow for him. So, and I forgot to put that 810 pack in there.
Thing.
We're just gonna keep sending crap back and forth to each other. Eventually, we'll get caught up.
There
I'll
you
say
go.
I've got the box upstairs from you. I just need your address.
So you should share that live on stream.
Yeah, I'll say, what is it?
1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
69 420 Fun Hole Drive.
Yeah,
You didn't
69 420 Fun Hole Drive.
You didn't pass go. You didn't collect any money on that one. I told Haley the other day, I was sitting there and I asked a buddy of mine who ex-Navy, I was like, do you want this ship? And he's like, no. So like I started busting it apart and I'm telling her, I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. Like, I guess I'm just gonna like give it to the Goodwill or something. And she's like, I don't know, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, it'd be funny. I was like, I'm just gonna use it as packing peanuts in George's package where he just opens his package.
Just like bags of parts.
Oh, that'd be funny. I almost
Yeah.
gave you an address I haven't lived at in 20 years. I don't know why.
Why is that the address you have on top of your head?
I have no freaking clue. You said 6420 or whatever.
420.
Yeah, made me think of an old zip code for some stupid reason.
If my zip code was 69420, that would be fantastic. That'd be like best case scenario.
Where is that?
I don't even know. We'll see if that
Is that even a real zip code?
Let's find out.
Katie,
Give it
can you
Google's.
explain to us why
I'm
that would be
searching, yeah.
fantastic?
6920.
Do what?
Damn it. I guess we're moving to France, boys.
I need Caden to explain to me why that would be a fantastic number.
What, 69420?
That is my
I
wife's
think
birthday.
you're like 30 years too late to that party.
I am?
Yeah, unfortunately.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you know, it's a young people thing.
You do realize that me and you are closer in age than anybody else in this whole entire panel.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But
You and I being closer doesn't mean that you and I are that close.
I don't know. If you added you and him together, you'd be close to me.
How old are you?
Him or me?
You.
I'm 23.
There's literally 11 years difference between me and you.
That's a decade.
There's what year were you born?
67.
Me?
Yeah.
Let's do that math. Come on. If Caden is 23 and I'm 11 years older,
He's
What is
34.
then what's 34 minus 2000?
Well, there's only a 6-year difference between you and I, Goober.
I know. I was
Yeah.
I was,
That means there's only
apparently-
a 47-year difference between y'all and me.
Nice. You said 27?
I said 47, but
47.
yeah, just kidding.
I was
he's
gonna
old, but
say,
he ain't that old.
that's two of me between everybody.
That math ain't mathing.
Yeah. Apparently, the 69420 zip code is a French postal code.
Really?
So, guess we got to move the Normandy boys.
Well,
I'd take that.
Just build
Honestly.
it instead.
Is that good enough?
Yeah,
I heard the beach is beautiful this time of year.
Best day was last Friday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect surf conditions. Yeah. Parties.
Thank you.
I got a guy that I've known. He's a customer of mine. He was telling me that he just got back from overseas, over in Europe and Scotland and all that. And he's like showing me all these pictures, and he just like randomly comes across this picture. He's like, "See that right there?" And it's just like this beautiful mountain view, and you can see like a little town, and there's like a rake. I mean, I don't even know what you'd call it, but it's just like a little water area. I mean, you can see it's far off in the distance. I was like, "Where is that at?" He's like, "Behind me is this." And he just like flipped over, and it's like Hitler's eagle's nest.
Nice.
I'm like, you
Man, I wanna go.
lucky son of a bitch.
That's the way to do it. Yeah, there's some video that I keeps popping up on my For You page, and it's just she's like, if you could bring back one person from the dead, who would it be? And then it's like, and I know you're thinking of that Asian fellow, or not Asian fellow, German fellow. And it always cuts to some guy, and he's like, no, I wasn't thinking of a German guy. My guy's Austrian.
Yeah. George sent that to me earlier.
Yeah.
Are you sure you aren't just seeing and telling us what we send in the group chat?
Yeah, right.
Well, so ironically enough, probably before, so Saturday, Cameron sent it to me, and I had seen it that morning. So I saw it, Cameron sent it to me, and then George sent it to the group chat.
How'd you manage to get the World War Brick Gang in the chat tonight? Cameron just
I was
popped
about
on.
to say, Cameron just popped up. You talked about him.
I've been manifesting it in the other group chat.
Ah. Well, I almost texted him today, and then I got busy. Spartan.
Yeah, the initial message from Colton was, "Yo, we should go all harass Caden on the live stream."
Yes.
We're all for that.
Yeah.
I have a legit question,
For who?
and for everybody in here, and there's somebody that's got to know a better answer than me, and it's probably Gene.
Oh boy.
So Lego can't be copyrighted with the minifigure, correct?
What?
Copyright's probably not the proper term. What is context?
So how is the minifigure off limits to other companies, but they literally have bricks that are like the exact same thing?
The patent's expired
Yeah,
on the
it's a patent.
brick. But
The
the
patent is
actual
expired on the basic bricks. Some of the later elements are still under patent.
the minifigure didn't actually come out to the mid 70s.
Yeah, something like that.
So maybe the patent hasn't expired on it.
Well, I did. Was talking to a customer the other day, and we were talking about Lego. And my lovely Lego calendar that my wife bought me let me in on some information that the first Lego beard for Redbeard was made in 1989, which just happens to be the year I was born. So,
That just happens to be 12 years before I was alive.
well, it's not our fault.
Imagine being old.
We probably partied with your parents.
I mean, my parents were born in 74, so probably.
I mean, we didn't party with them.
Yeah.
George could possibly be your pappy.
I mean,
George is my pappy, all right?
Your parents are only 11 years older than I am.
I mean, my older brother is 31, so he's not that much younger than this guy. What's his name? Richard, that guy.
Wow.
So George,
I
George, you're
thought every
42?
other R name possible before I got to that.
What's that, Gene?
You're 42?
No, I'll be 40 in September.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just an old soul.
An old soul, but a youngin' at heart.
Yeah,
He
Yes, I
really
will.
wanted to participate in that Nerf war on Sunday.
I really did, but I was afraid I was going to throw a hip out.
How'd the Nerf war go? Well, George got hurt. Oh, did he get hit in the eye? Nah, he
Pulled the hammy.
Yeah, he pulled a hamstring standing up.
Man down. Calling a medic.
When I seen that going down on like everybody's
Story.
Snapchat story, I was like, my only thought was like, that looks really fun, but like, I really hope they carried it away from all the mocks.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. No, we were like out in like the corridors of the warehouse and like super close corners to where people are like walking between the GHQ and the venue for it. And there's just like 4 guys stacked up in a hallway with Nerf guns. They're like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, that was a good time.
Down for that.
The camera guy eventually went out there and got some footage.
Yeah. Brick Maniac camera guy was following around as our combat cameraman.
It would have been cool to go to that, but y'all didn't invite me, so.
I mean,
don't even get me started.
Yeah.
I asked George, I was like, what's it going to take to get you at Brick Fair this year?
Next year.
Honestly, I would let George stay in my hotel room if he came to Brick Fair.
Well, that's what Richard said too.
I offered him
Yeah.
the same thing.
I mean, Cameron's. I think now that Cameron's coming, he's staying with me now. But
Cameron snores. I'm out.
oh, he does.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying that.
Oh, damn,
I
shame.
So
Tatum was so disappointed. He was like, wait, he does?
Well, like last year for Adult Swim, one of my buddies was living around or lived close, but still drove every day. And for Adult Swim, like had a little too much fun. And I was like, be smart. Like if you get to that point, just come and like crash in my hotel room. At like 2:30 in the morning, I hear him trying to open the door and he like cannot figure out the hotel key. He was like that far gone. So I get up, open the door, and he's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's fine. Just come in here and go to bed. I called him at like 9 o'clock the next morning. I was like, are you awake? I was like, I got to check out of the hotel. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm definitely, I haven't even looked at Airbnbs around there because like I've always just stayed at the hotel, but get the Bearded Bricks content house and just like.
I mean, we have not paid for the hotel yet. We can easily cancel.
Yeah.
I think there might have been some chat over a few adult beverages one night, maybe having an entourage go down there.
Yeah.
You mean
An
like
entourage out of the normal?
Yeah.
Good time. You should do it.
I've begged Lando to come, but Lando running a business now, I can kind of understand why that's a no.
He said he might because we were talking about it over the weekend.
Yeah.
I bet we could sweet talk him into it.
Lando likes Brick Fair.
There's some things.
Yeah. Yeah, get Evan to do the cross country in the Jeep.
Yes.
That would be the worst ride in the world.
Right.
Oh God.
Yeah, I haven't even posted my POV from that night because I was like, I don't know if I really want this to be shared because my Instagram also shares to my Facebook. And I was like, I don't know if I need all my, aunts and uncles, cousins and stuff seeing me be extremely unsafe on this vehicle.
There's a way you can prevent it from going to your Facebook, right?
Oh yeah, I can just turn it off. Yeah.
The funniest thing
A lot of
is
those people
the
also
video,
follow me on Instagram though. So
the video that Sam took of Evan pulling out into traffic, it's just like the look on Evan's face is like, I don't know if I want to make it.
yeah. Yeah, because so when we went and got ice cream that night, there were like 5 or 6 of us that walked. And then there ended up being like 4 or 5 of them that came in the Jeep. And then so on the way back, there ended up being like 9 of us in the Jeep. So Colton and I are sitting on the hood, just like holding on for dear life, driving back to the GHQ. Meanwhile, like Evan and Cameron are in the actual seats. And then Connor, Jake, Sam, and other Caden, or not other Caden, and somebody else.
He's making the bridge.
Y'all are talking about how hard that was, but you got to realize that 80 years ago they were doing that while being shot at.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I was kind of getting shot at. It had just rained, and so all the overpasses were like steady precipitating. I was taking rounds to the face like nothing.
That wasn't the only time that weekend we heard.
Okay. I was in an
I
Airbnb.
thought you didn't go, Richard.
I said that we heard, not that I was there. Probably why I didn't get invited.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Richard texted me Friday, have fun without me, effer. I'm like, dude, we invited you. Don't start this crap.
Yeah, because then we sent him a picture of us flipping him off.
Well, I guess it was more like
I like how
out.
George tried to make it innocent, and Caden's like, "But Dad, that's not what happened."
Yeah. Well, because we did the same thing to Jaden, because he didn't come this year. So Cameron and I, like each day, sent him a picture of the two of us just flipping him off.
It's very rude.
I mean, no, it's like it's an endearment, you know. It's like it could mean either end of the spectrum, you know. It's F you, I love you, you know. It's both, kind of, sort of, not really, but kind of, yeah.
Kind of.
Don't forget about your hat you got. No, yeah. See, Connor, we already talked about the cream team hat.
Gotta catch up.
And I don't even really wear beanies, but I was like, yes, I can't not own a hat that says cream team on it.
The only thing funnier would be if I was in control of making sure what that mascot looked like.
Like, am I an immature 23-year-old? Yes. Do I need a beanie that says cream team on it? Also, yes. Yeah. Well, it was funny because when we got back, Noah, we were telling Noah about it, and he was like, "Oh, I should have gone with you. I would have bought one of those in a heartbeat."
Well, we joked a couple years ago, and I don't think George knows about all this, but anyone that's been to Brick Fair, there's a gang of people that have, like, of course, every time you go somewhere like that, there's always like little like cliques together. But remember, there's a couple people who will like dress up really nice and go out to dinner, and there's like others that will like wear random outfits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, last year, and I thought about this and was joking with Haley, and Haley doesn't seem to think I could get anybody behind it. But they had at the New Hiroshima and like the Halo, they all had like matching jerseys.
Yeah.
We should do that.
I'm ironically enough doing that for my big collab for 2026.
Are they like jerseys?
Yeah. Because I talked to Simon Liu to figure out what company they went through to get them. But
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I met Simon last year for the first time, other than like saying things here and there over the internet. That's a really cool guy.
Oh, dude, I love Simon.
Oddly obsession with frogs, but that's a really cool guy.
Yeah. No, Simon's a real G. Well, I mean, you've been to Brick Fair now, what, 2-3 times?
4.
So, are you familiar at all with the Biana Lug casting couch?
Yeah, because I was joking with Arm and Eric, and I was like, we're going to be right there because, Eric lives right there.
Yeah.
And I was like, why can't we just get on Facebook Marketplace and like think about it? I was like, if there's 5 of us and it's $100 couch, we all spend $20 and we just get a couch.
No, you don't want that additional association, trust me.
I will say that one of my fond memories of being at Brick Fair was being there, setting up a mock, and just hearing over the loudspeaker, guys, we all have showers in the hotel room. If you would please use them.
The fact that there is now like news posts on the website where the emoji attached to it is just a bar of soap is like the funniest thing ever.
Well, there's like a whole section, like a newsletter that went out a couple weeks ago that was talking about it.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's a whole thing. Which and especially at Brick Fair, I mean, I don't know about you, but like at Brick Fair, and I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, but I also have like the theme leader shirt on over that. It's hot in there. Like,
it is.
I shower every night when I get back to the hotel room, and then I also shower in the morning just to start the day cool. Because I mean, especially since I stay by myself, I keep my hotel room Arctic.
Yeah.
And so I'll get back at 1 a.m., jump in the shower. My hotel room's 55 degrees, and then just pass out. And then first thing in the morning, jump in the shower and then go down and get breakfast. But
that's pretty much what me and Haley do.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is people don't realize too, is if you've never been anywhere like that and set up a big mock, the adrenaline that's going through you while you're trying to set that up and everybody talking to you and like everybody pulling you away, and plus the temperatures in there being hot, like you're gonna sweat.
Yeah, I mean, like for me too, like, you know, between unloading the car, setting up everything, because I go in, you know, 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning to set up tables and all that stuff for my areas. And so I'm doing that. And then I got to go in and set up my mocks. But even still, like, you know, this year, I'll have stuff in military. I'll have stuff with my lug. Not to mention I'm getting dragged around by everyone who's never been there before to figure out where they're supposed to go. And, you know, all we're wearing 2 shirts and yeah.
Well, I think I have a really cool idea this year. I'm just going to show up. I'm going to bring everything in and tell Arm and Eric to set it up and walk out.
There you go. I'll set it up for you.
Let's see how it comes together.
Yeah.
I don't know. Setting up is part of the like funness of it. I've realized over the years that nothing I set up stays the same between like show to show.
Yep. That's why there's like certain things, like depending on how they're set up, I'll take pictures of. And like with Mount Yay, that was something I did. Like everything had a specific spot because like of all the lights. And so like each base plate, all the figures for that base plate went into a specific bag that was numbered. And so all those figures went back on said base plate because of where all the lights and stuff were. But that's really the only time I've ever done it outside like the vignettes. But
So did you have the lights tied to the minifigs, or
so all the lights
light the minifig?
All the lights were like internally wired into the base plate, but where they came out of the base plate, they would slide onto the ends of all the rifles. And so where they came out, there needed to be a specific kind of figure because some of the lights were different. And so where the minifig was standing was relevant. So I had pictures of each base plate so that the figures that had lights specifically got always put back in the same spot. But
that's my goal, is to kind of do the same thing. Just take pictures and save them into a folder. And then when I get there, set everything up and then do minifigs last.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping to use lights again next year on the big build, which next year I've decided that like, I don't really have a break in building because I've got these 2 big projects to finish before Brick Fair. Right after Brick Fair, I have two more at minimum vignettes to finish before the Marine Corps show. And then as soon as I get back from that, I'm starting on my 2 big builds for next year, while also then going to Erie with all of this year's builds. Coming home.
Don't forget that me, you, and George have our Alderon.
That's true. Yeah, our Alderon collab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
What color are we going for that? Because I've got plenty.
I got about 1,000 of these dark turquoise 2x4s. Dump it out and say it was like the water. I don't know.
Yeah.
Richard loves it when you just dump pieces on the mock.
Well, this mock we got is going to take 4 tables.
Yeah. 4 tables minimum. If Todd can swing 6, we're going to aim for 6.
If that was possible, there would be so many people there.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. That would be like, I feel like we'd almost have to clear it with him, but like that would be so funny. Just have like a massive Alderon mock, and it's literally just a ton of parts on the ground, and then maybe like off to the side we put the like micro GWP Death Star.
Dump it all out and leave. Like, we got a museum to go visit, man.
Right. Yep.
Everyone kept telling me like, with the castle, I had so many different like hidden Easter eggs and stuff.
Yeah.
And people have asked me if I'm doing the same with this build, and I've kind of kept the respect to the fact of like not doing it. But there's like a big side of me that really wants me to make a Thomas the Tank Sherman.
Yes.
So that's actually an interesting question, because I know you did with your castle, and I guess you can kind of get how you feel about it. Like I don't usually do Easter eggs, because generally I'm trying to depict something of like historical importance, and so like I have to do it in not necessarily like, I don't know if respectful is the right word, but like to try to keep it accurate.
Yeah.
It's like people always put stuff on my mock, but like I'm not gonna do it voluntarily. Are you the same kind of way?
Well, I mean, like my thing is, it's like the doing anything that has to do with war. Somebody's family went through it,
Right.
or any kind of real life event. Somebody's family went through that, so it's just like the respect issue of it. Like, I mean, I literally pushed the castle off the table.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that with this. I'm going to do it the right way by taking it all apart and everything else. And
Sure.
like when it comes to be taken apart, it's going to be taken apart.
Right.
But like at the same time, like a large part of me is like, you got to realize like it's Lego, it's fun. There has to be, you have to have some type of fun with it. And it like a lot of people were getting mad at me that I did it with the castle, and they're like, oh, you could break something. Like that's just so disrespectful. But it's like, you bought it, you done whatever you wanted to with it. At the end of the day, it is yours. But like I don't know, the respect thing there for like what the war portion of it, I don't really know exactly how I feel to a T, but I'm not going to do it this time.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like for like fictional stuff, yeah, like if I was doing like a super generic, beach landing that wasn't really like based off of anything, and I had Deadpool like storming the beaches or something like that, would be an okay line for me. But seeing as like most of the time, especially at the bigger shows, and even with the vignettes, like all the vignettes, have a historical write-up that gets displayed next to them.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it has pictures that are almost always directly tied to what the build is. And, if I have actual historical pictures of guys that, were there, that's like saying, like, if I took the flag raising on Iwo Jima and, I swapped out one of the Marines for, like Batman or something, like, would it be funny? Yeah, maybe. But at the same time, like me looking at it is like, I'm depicting and honoring the guys who were there doing that. I don't want to deface that in a way.
And I even feel a little bit further like, so modern military, I get doing modern military and making fun of stuff like that more than I do the stuff like, World War II. Right.
Yeah, I think modern military has a little bit more leniency as far as like, messing with it rather than like the historical stuff. Because all that's,
I don't know. I put Captain America in a D-Day landing display one time, and it got a lot of good.
Yeah. Well, it's like sometimes and I feel it's weird because I feel like the public always is like, oh, that's funny. Because like even at World War Brick, like some of the guys were like, oh, you should you don't have any Easter eggs in your vignettes. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't. I don't know what I would add.
Well, like a lot of people, and I didn't get this, and I had to like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like Googled it, and it was just the fact of it being a war, not what it was. But a lot of people were asking me where Wonder Woman was, and I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, why would Wonder Woman be in Bastogne? But they were just doing it because she was like fighting in the war, kind of like D-Day with Captain America.
So that person's just dumb, but
yeah. Kind of like Captain America being in, D-Day. Technically, that, could have been. That's probably in one of the Marvel comics, to be honest.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, like I could have put Wonder Woman in the World War I vignette, but I didn't. It also wouldn't have made any sense because they were British, not American. But yeah,
That's
good.
There you go with that making sense thing again.
I had Wolverine's head on and hair on a Vietnam fig on top of my C-123 provider, but that was in the movie Origins. So
I was about to say that's not Wolverine, that's Patch. See, that right there lets me know that X-Men show that me and you did together, you're not up to par, buddy.
I'm not watching. I'm not reading the comics. I'm watching the movies.
Technically, that was in the movie.
I guess I missed that part.
Before he was technically called Wolverine, he was Patch.
Oh yeah, I guess he was. Yeah, because he hadn't become Wolverine yet. He still had the bone claws.
The best like way to depict that is on the Deadpool movie. The Deadpool versus Wolverine, when Ryan Reynolds is going through all the multiverses, and he's like, "Oh, Patch," and Patch is in there smoking a cigarette with the motorcycle.
That's right.
But I'll let you slide with that one. I'll let you slide.
Appreciate it.
Got a freebie there.
Yeah.
Now you can sleep tonight.
George was joking one day, and George was like, "I don't know, you want to do like an X-Men show?" And I was like, "Well, let's get this tism going." I'm like, "How much do you like X-Men?" And he's like, "Well, I like them a little bit." And I'm like,
Yeah, your level and knowledge of X-Men is way higher than mine.
I'm like, "You sure you want to go down this path?"
I know enough to carry on a passing conversation and like, okay, I gotta go.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, Richard, it'll almost be like you did go to World War Brick, because I talked about half of my crew to come into Brick Fair this year.
I mean, that's really cool because I'm down.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm also kind of down though. Like, the more I think about it, you realize how much money we could probably save if we just split an Airbnb?
I mean, probably quite a bit. Like, I'm splitting the hotel with Cameron this year.
Yeah, but you got to think, if we didn't get a hotel this year and we got an Airbnb, and it was, I mean, it would be $2,000 a person. If we could get 4 people, it's still cheaper. I mean, $4,000 for the Airbnb.
Yeah.
If 4 people, it's still cheaper.
Yeah, but you got to think, like, I mean, part of the reason I like the hotel and that I don't mind paying for it is the convenience of the fact that I literally can park my car on Wednesday and not.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's
like that right there. Because I mean, I honestly like, and that's part of why I went back to the same Airbnb for World War Brick this year. Like, I'm 2 streets over off the GHQ. I'm like it's like what, 3/4 of a mile maybe, and it's right off Central Avenue, so I literally can walk everywhere.
I mean,
like,
my wife really likes the fact that you can wake up and walk outside and go to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, like
good breakfast,
like perfectly positioned. You got so many restaurants. You got Brickmania, Walmart. You know, like, you literally have everything you need to survive for the duration of Brick Fair right there within walking distance.
So I will say that I'm not the strongest person, but I like to think I'm pretty strong. Me carrying 2 cases of water back from Walmart about a halfway, I was like, man, maybe I'm not what I thought I was.
Arms are on fire.
Hey, Richard, you know those shopping carts have wheels.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
You
every
can take it back
year,
later.
every year at some point, me and like 15 other guys go to Walmart at like 1 a.m. and we make our snack run for the public days. And I don't know about you guys, but people watching in a Walmart at 1 a.m. is probably some of the best comedy you could find in like just the open world.
My favorite thing about that being at Brick Fair though is like you get as you're doing, because we did it last year, and as you're doing it, you get the slight thought of, are them guys really at Brick Fair with us?
Yeah. Well, I don't know who it was last year that went over to Walmart and borrowed a cart to bring in all of their alcohol for Adult Swim.
I don't remember that.
I don't even remember who it was. I think I do know who it was, but I'm not gonna name them. But they had a shopping cart full of stuff for Adult Swim.
So where we were set up last year, as you like walk through the second door.
Yeah.
During the Adult Swim, they get everybody out. We end up leaving, like going to get something to eat and coming back, and like then they released like the Adult Swim portion.
Yeah.
And like as they did it, I just remember being near the lobby and the guy like folding his tablecloth over his mock really gently, and then just yanking out a table, unfold it, and like start pulling out cups and like coolers and like ice.
Yeah, somebody set up a mini bar, which that is the first time that has ever happened. I have never seen anyone like set up a bar at Brick Fair and just start serving drinks, which is hilarious. I think Tony was up there at one point, which I don't think I ever would have pictured Tony doing that, but I mean, hey.
I asked him, I was like, I'm not gonna want something for free. I was like, what do you want to charge for a drink? And he was like, well, don't really charge. He's like, I'll just take a donation. How about that? He's like, what do you want me to make you? And I was like, I don't know, like just make me something. And the first drink he made me, I was like, I'll be back in a later for another one. And like 2 hours later, I think we ended up with like, I'll have to ask Haley, but I think that we did like a $65 Papa John's order.
That's insane.
We were like, we're not moving.
Yeah. Yeah, we all went to the brewery Friday night, and
Why the heck?
it was a good time. There were, George, probably 20 of us?
I'd say so.
Something like that. And
Yeah, that makes sense.
like it was both of the Brits, most of the Brick Mania guys, and then me, Cameron, Robert, and a couple of the other guys. And I mean, we were there. I mean, I was there till quarter to midnight. You guys were there even longer.
Yeah, we got thrown, or I shouldn't say thrown out. We shut the place down, but it was around 12:15.
Okay, so it wasn't too long after I left, but
And I was only going to have 2 drinks.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Says everyone.
Well, we got there because Cameron just turned 21 this year, so this was his first time like going out, and so I didn't drink at all. I was completely sober, and I'm sitting between him. It was me, Cameron, Noah, Anthony, Robert, Amanda, and Dan all at this one table. And I'm pretty sure when I left, most of them were at least 5 deep, and we were having a good time. I'll just put it that way. But it was funny because when I left, like, which I had never been to a brewery before, so like you walk in, you get your drink, and you just go sit outside, and it's just like completely open. And now, granted, the culture in Minnesota is definitely different than the culture here, but we like when I'm walking back, I probably ended up walking. That place is probably what, half mile from the GHQ, so I ended up probably about a mile and a half back to my Airbnb at like midnight, 12:30, something like that. And as I'm walking back, there were a bunch of people also leaving the brewery who like ended up like following me most of the way, and then like turning off at one point. I was like, I'm just kind of walking all the way back, pitch black by myself. I'm like, it's gonna be fine. And I get back to like the alleyway to get to my entrance for my Airbnb, and I'm like turning around and make sure like there's nobody chasing me. But then I start setting off all the neighbors' like motion lights. Now it's like bright as shit because they've all got rings. Like the neighborhood, they have the front entrance, but their garage are all like this alley access, and that's where all their ring cameras on. So I set off probably 7 motion cameras and like spotlights when I'm trying to get to my Airbnb.
So I probably shouldn't like tell this story on YouTube, but what the hell? We're all friends here, right?
Yeah.
So this happened last year, and it's honestly like, how when things happen and as they're happening to you, I think Gene knows about this story, but things are like happening to you and you're running scenarios just through your head of like how you're about to assess or manage a situation.
Mm-hmm.
We left the convention. It's like, it was like 2 a.m. maybe. It was when they kicked us out, so it had to be like 2.
Yeah.
We were like walking back towards the hotel. I've got my book bag on. I will tell you right now that if I have my book bag on, I have a gun on my side. Like it is literally like reaching distance, either pocket, it's on the side. This guy pulls up in this van and he's like, hey, what's up? And at first I thought it was somebody from the convention. And I was like, who the heck is this? So he's like, hey, come here. And like, he's like reaching in the van and I'm like trying to ignore him. And Haley's like, just stop, just leave him alone, blah, blah. And he's like yelling like, hey, come here. I just need directions. Can you come over here, please? It's like, I'm like intoxicated at this point, but I start walking to the van. And as I start walking the van, I realize that like, I am like this with like it drawn out of my like pocket. I literally have it like up against my chest like this. And I go up to the van and I'm like, what you got? And he's like, oh, sorry, bro. It just drives off. I was like, well,
yeah, that'd be me, honestly. I've had some questionable people drive up, like, because it's always those hours, like between midnight and 2, walking back up to the hotel. Like any of the people that are driving up into the Walmart parking lot, like at that time, are like generally sketchy to begin with. But like last year, I had. So you remember the side door? The handle was broken.
Over there by me.
No, of the hotel. Like when you walk up that sidewalk
yeah,
to get in, like the side door was busted. So you had to like crank it upwards to get it to open. Well, I'm sitting there for probably like 10 minutes trying to get this key to work, and it won't open and it won't open. And some guy starts like walking up behind me. And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go around. So I walk all the way down to the front desk, and I was like, hey, like, by the way, the side door, I've been standing there for like 10 minutes trying to get my key to work because they had a sign on the door that was like, pull the handle up, and I could not get it to work. And she's like, oh yeah, you just have to pull it up. I'm like, okay, that's super helpful. But I was like, more or less, I'm going around because I'm not trying to get this dude like walking up on me. Like I had my knife on me, but I'm, not trying to stab somebody at 1 a.m. outside a hotel.
Well, you're trying to stab him. I was going to shoot one of them in a van. So.
I mean, yeah. I can't carry in Virginia. Not yet.
I guess I might have to grab a flamethrower.
Now we're
Take the
talking.
ensemble.
Now we're talking. I like that idea.
It's not illegal to own a flamethrower anywhere you're at.
I mean, what they don't know can't
not
hurt
legal.
I said it's not illegal to carry a flamethrower anywhere.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, wait a minute. I really don't care if it's legal or illegal.
Yeah. Well, the
George has secretly got a Caterpillar in his garage that he welded 1/4-inch thick steel plates to.
I don't think my pyrotechnic flashbangs are illegal, so I could just rock with those.
Technically, you could do whatever you want.
I mean, technically,
we would definitely be able to locate your location.
that is true. You'd know exactly where I was.
It's all fun and games until the person you're walking up on starts putting on earmuffs.
And welding glasses.
Yeah.
About
Go
to get
get
really bright
in here, boys.
Well, it's like we saw this video saved on my phone. It's this dude snowboarding, but instead of like, the normal snowboarding helmet, he's wearing his like mil spec, like fully kitted out helmet. And I texted one of my airsoft buddies. I was like, dude, we should do this one time. Like, we just go snowboarding with our like full kit helmets on. And then in our like day bags for snowboarding, we'll put our radios in. So we could just have our like ham radios with like our 4-foot antennas sticking out of our backpacks while we're riding the ski lift, just chatting across the mountain.
Papa Trip said, Hola from Rennie in Brick World, Chicago, 2025. Wendy and I are headed back down to walk through the hall and check out folks' setup progress. Have a fun stream and hope everyone has a good, safe week. You too, man. Y'all be safe up there.
Yeah,
Have fun.
Howard Bricks says oversized grill lighter, and Andrew said a gasoline spray can and a torch. I mean, I've always thought it would be really funny, and I joked with Haley of you're talking about putting on like the tactical equipment.
Yeah.
How funny would it be if you just walked up on me and I'm pulling out a gun with a freaking clone trooper helmet on?
It's like the videos of the guys like walk down the street and they're all wearing like full suit and tie and then also have clone trooper helmets on.
I mean, I've got 4 of them upstairs. I can bring them.
Yeah. There's usually at least one at Brick Fair that makes its friend. No, it's usually Noah who ends up with it.
I've got Rex, a 332nd, Gree, and 187th.
It's like the 4 randomest helmets to all have.
How?
Well, like Rex and 332nd makes sense, but then you've got 187th and Gree.
187th is the best light Legion there is.
The purple ones?
Yeah.
No, not by a long shot.
That Mace Windu's.
Yeah, that's Mace Windu's. What are you talking about?
It's not Mace Windu's. Mace Windu's Clone Legion in the Clone Wars is brown, not purple.
It is the 187th. Look it up.
Yeah, but if every time Mace Windu is with the Clone Troopers, he has all the Clone Troopers have brown markings. Commander Pons, all the dudes during the Anaxis battle in Season 7, all of them are all brown. There's never one single purple Clone Trooper in the entire Clone Wars.
But they are in
They're in like canonical stuff, but not in the Clone Wars. All of his clones are brown. No way he said, yeah, exactly. Cameron, yeah, thank you, boys. Yeah,
If
they're all
you
calling him
literally
stupid.
Google the Legion, or it makes.
I'm not
Windows
saying you're
clone
wrong.
Legion.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying every
He's
clone
wrong.
he's ever with is brown, and the fact that you said that's the best Legion is just a utter lie.
Well,
So what are you working on tonight, Gene?
Tranquility Guard.
Tranquility Guard.
how calm is it
that's
making everything right
Fitting
now?
set for our current conversation.
I'm doing Sherlock Holmes.
Maybe we can inspect as to where Richard's brain cells went.
Then who do you think is the best Legion?
It's not the 187th.
They got the best.
I mean,
Legion.
there's like top 3 is 501st, 212th, and 327th Star Corps.
The only reason that everyone says that the 501st is the best is because of what they did at the turn.
Jedi Temple. I mean,
And
and
332nd.
well, the 332nd Company was part of the 501st Legion, so it's kind of encompassed. If you want to get technical, George.
You talking
all right?
about tisms?
Yeah, bro, I got an army sitting right here. All right.
Why don't we do that then? Oh, our next like collab, we should just
Do a massive Star Wars thing.
no, just set up clones on a base plate.
We'll do the 501st versus the 187th,
Deal.
and I'll invite everyone I know to bring all their 501st.
Can I build something from the 509th?
Build some from the 506th.
Uh,
That's crazy.
I
187.
really want to build something from the 509th though,
Yeah.
or the 442nd.
The 442nd would be cool. Aren't those the samurai?
I'm
What?
talking about modern air wings, not the.
I know
You're-
you are. What is the
You're thinking of the Japanese Army unit.
Yeah, but I thought they were the 4-second something.
I'm pretty sure that was the Japanese Americans were 442nd.
That's what you just said.
Yeah, it's what. Yeah, but I'm talking about the 442nd Air Wing out at Whiteman Air Force Base.
Oh, I'm talking about the freaking
You're talking about the World War II Japanese American Army unit.
yeah.
I was gonna go off and talk about the 44th Individual Mixed Brigade.
I don't know what you just said.
Crickets.
It's one of the units that was defending Okinawa on the Japanese
Ah.
side in the southern hemisphere or southern half of the island.
I'm going to take your word for it.
Yeah, whatever you say.
You seem to be the subject expert here.
I am to an extent.
I can't wait for people to tell me how wrong that I did this Battle of the Bulge mock.
I'm gonna get a shirt that just says this guy thinks the 187th is the best Clone Legion. It's just gonna point to you, and I'm gonna stand next to you the entire show.
You should.
I will. I mean, you're gonna be in my area, so
I was
like,
gonna say, aren't you sitting beside me anyway?
yeah, pretty much.
The person that's going to tell you wrong is going to be 12 years old, and he's going to
Yep.
know everything about it.
Oh my God! All right. Speaking of 12-year-olds, so here's another story out of World War Brick. I think George heard this one. Maybe not. So on Friday, yeah, it had to have been Friday. There was this kid who came up, and me and a bunch of the guys were sitting there talking about stuff. And I mean, he could not have been older than like 12. He was probably even younger. He's probably like 9. And he comes up and he's like, "Did you build these?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Okay, well, this guy's holding his rifle wrong." And I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Yeah, it should be the other way around." Because he's talking about one of the frog skin dudes on the Bougainville vignette, the one up front with the sling. And I was like, "Well, he's holding it that way because of the sling." And he's like, "Oh, well, I'm glad you have an explanation for it." And I was like, "Okay." And and we're like, me and Cameron and a bunch of guys are all just kind of like look at each other like, "What the hell?" Like, what? And he keeps walking around. He's like, "These are very historically accurate." He's just like going off in like direct tism, and we're like, "All right, like appreciate it very much." We were gonna mess with him, go over to his mock and turn all the rifles upside down, but we didn't.
Well, one of these little shitheads came to me at Brick Convention,
Yeah.
and I had to set him straight. I had a
Jesus.
I have nothing whatsoever like against anybody that does whatever, but if you're gonna talk shit, be prepared is all I'm saying. He
Uh-huh.
like comes up to me and he's like, oh, is this like the part of like France? And I'm like, well, it's Bastogne, it's actually like Belgium. And he's like, oh, he was like, well, the German army was never there. And I was like, no, I was like, they're just sitting here to show you what like, what I'm going to build with the rest of the forest. And he's like, well, that doesn't make sense. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you have a gray Panzer. I'm like, yeah. He's like, there was no gray Panzers at Battle of the Bulge. And I was like, actually, the Germans used anything and everything they had left. So I showed him a picture of like 3 Germans just like looking confused because the Panzer III slid down the hill and it's like teetering almost. And he's like, yeah, but I don't think that picture was taken there. And he just like walks off. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, I had a kid a couple years ago at Brick Fair on one of my like write-ups in front of my mock. It had like, obviously the details of everything, and somewhere in it was talking about the 7th Marines. And so he comes up and he's like, there was no such thing as the 7th Marines. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, the 7th Marine Division is not a thing. And I was like, it's because it's the 7th Marine Regiment of the 1st Marine Division. And he's like, no, but like, you don't get what I'm saying. I'm like, no, I understand exactly what you're saying, and you're wrong. The fact that you are assuming this is something else is like at I think it was one of the Peleliu builds. It's like at Peleliu, especially during the Umabrogel operation, it was the 1st, 5th, 3rd, and 7th Marine regiments in the 1st Marine Division. The 3rd and the 7th were at Umabrogel. The 1st came off the line, and the 5th went to Engasibus.
Well, see, like,
Sounds like Marty might have had the same encounter with that kid you were talking about.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking.
That's what's so funny.
I'm assuming he went around and did it to everybody, but
that's what's so funny about the Bulge is like it literally like no matter what you put in it, it's going to be somewhat right because it literally had anything and everything.
yeah,
If it was U.S. troops, all it had to do is have a Screaming Eagle on it. It was like that was 101st Airborne. That was really, other than like the tank destroyers, that was the only crew that was there.
Yeah, because you got to think too, like even by that point, like a lot of the replacement guys didn't have the company insignias on their helmets.
No, they just literally were in green uniforms.
Yeah, so like if somebody's gonna really nitpick, be like, oh, they don't all have the spades for the 506 or whatever. Be like, yeah, well, not all of them did.
Like the Battle of the Bulge was literally like, I understand there was like real people there that did real things, but it was just like a roundup of, oh, hey, what do we got left that we can use?
Right. Yep. That's why it's kind of nice doing like such niche stuff. Like Mount Yatake, nobody had ever heard that before. Nobody knew what that was. Everybody thought it was Mount Suribachi. And so like, nobody could tell me I was wrong because they'd never heard of it. Hacksaw maybe a little bit different, but I guarantee you everyone who has something to say is going to compare it to the movie, and I'm just going to shoot them.
Will you do me a favor with Hacksaw?
Potentially.
Can you put Spider-Man crawling up?
I'm not going to put Spider-Man crawling up. I am going to have Andrew Garfield climbing up, though.
No, you got to put Spider-Man.
But why?
Because that's Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, but as he's also Desmond Doss. Can't have the same person in 2 places at once.
You could, because nobody has really seen Spider-Man and Peter Parker.
That's true. No one's ever seen me and Batman in the same room.
Gosh dang it, you beat me to it. I used to have that on my wall at work.
Yeah?
And
My dad used to say that all the time.
a former boss of mine, he moved on, and I ran into him several years later, and he says, the one thing I remember about you, George? I said, other than I was insubordinate and didn't like you. He says, well, other than that, he says, was that Batman saying you had in your office.
I never saw you and Batman in the same room. Yep.
Like, I never saw you and Batman in the same room. I'm like, facts.
Yep.
Marty says he thinks he knows that guy you're talking about.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cameron.
We need to get Gene in on these conventions so he can see all this fun stuff.
That's true. I mean, I feel like we've been trying to talk him into coming, and he's just always shooting us down.
Well, he says he's coming this year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he called me today and told me he was showing up at Brick Universe on Sunday. Brick Universe isn't really like a.
It's not a big one.
It's not a big one, but you don't like. It's not going to be the excitement of like Brick Fair.
Yeah. Well, because Brick Universe, to my knowledge, is also invite, right?
No.
Or it's invite or application, right?
No. Well, it's the same. It's almost the same thing as a as any other convention. I mean, you go online and you register to be there.
Okay, because the one that I was supposed to do last year or this past year, it wasn't a like, hey, I'm coming. It was a like apply to be a part of it. Like you send them like a, hey, this is what I built. This is what I want to bring. And they like approve it or disapprove it. Because they invited me to come. Like they reached out to me because they were doing it in Annapolis, or well, they were supposed to be doing it in Annapolis, but it ended up the venue was like 4 minutes from my house.
Are you sure you're not talking about Brick Convention?
I'm talking about Brick Universe.
Because I had to do that for Brick Convention, but I've never had to do that for Brick Universe.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about, it definitely was Brick Universe because there's no Brick conventions up here by me.
Yeah, I don't know then.
Not yet, at least, but because they had it supposed to be in like sometime in September or October, and then they ended up canceling it because they didn't sell enough tickets, I guess, and so they like rescheduled it for like November of this year. And they emailed me and they were like, well, you know, we'd love to have you still. And I was like, well, the build that I said I was going to bring this year will not still be constructed. And chances are I will also not have my big build next year still constructed come November. Like by that point, this thing will be torn down and starting the next one. Because I've got 12 plates for the next big build. And then I have 3 plates for our collab, but I'm also in charge of the collab. So
what does everybody in the chat think me and Caden should collab on for Atlanta?
The Brick World crew starting to jump in the chat too, Richard. Renee's on. It's K today.
Yeah, it's K today. Says, what's up, everyone? EMS Renee says, hey, Brickin with the beer peeps.
And Andrew says that I'm right. So
Andrew said he's waiting. See, I've never had to apply though.
Maybe they just like you too much.
Well, like the first year I went, I set up the castle.
Are you sure you're talking about Brick Universe?
Yeah, because that's like my people.
Because I don't know if it differs from not like region, but like area that like maybe different people are.
No, it's a family ran thing.
Okay, that's what I thought, but that seems odd. Maybe like I don't know, because you said you're going to one soon, right? And that one you just said, hey, I'm coming.
Well, so the first one I went to, I told them what I was doing and what I was bringing, and they asked me what space I would need, and it just kind of worked like that. I ended up winning Best of Show. The next year, I told them I was going to come back with a bigger, better castle. I came back with it and won again. And then this year, I'm coming with the military.
Yeah.
They're like, I mean, I guess I know them, though. I mean, like, it's kind of like you help Todd. Like, I'll help them do whatever they need to do type thing.
Sure.
So maybe that's why. I know that my lug is a big portion of who displays there.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it might just be different, like, when they go to certain places. Like, down there, they might be more, local-esque to what's around, whereas, when they travel around, not as familiar territory.
Well, they've got full-time artists that travel with them.
Yeah. Hey, it's Kay today said, do the battlefield mock, just keep Caden away from the drill. But it's Kay today, if you'll message me, I will show you something that I guess I'm not going to say it. I mean, it's planned, but I guess I could show you the layout.
Super secret.
It's not super secret. I don't want to talk too much about it because then I'll get excited and not want to finish this build.
Yeah.
My ADD kicks in and I'm like, yeah, screw this thing. Let's tear it apart and start something else.
Well, that's why
Sig Fig with Caden holding a Lego drill. Kind of yellow.
All I'm saying is that somebody else did it before me, and I'm catching all the flack for it. I don't know why.
Because
you were the only one that did it on live.
Yeah, I would say you don't have proof of me doing it.
Technically, it's chat's fault. They're the ones who all liked the video enough for me to do it. So
That doesn't matter.
Maybe I'll build a vignette with it, and then I'll just only when I post it, I'll post a picture of the bottom of the vignette for no other reason than to show that that's the plate with the hole in it.
So, Gene, did you bring anything to show tonight?
Actually, I was going to bring a topic as opposed to parts. I've got 2 parts that are meh.
Different.
What's the topic?
You have to wait.
You have to wait.
Since his computer modem was down.
Yeah, hold your
Had to
horses.
be rebooted.
We don't have patience.
That
man.
piece is hell expensive.
So start with she had 2 pieces this week that were both printed parts or decorated parts. And this was one, it's a stickered windscreen in trans yellow. Only came in 1 set. It was the Benny spaceship from 2014.
Yeah.
The movie came out in
That's-
2014. Oh my god.
Yeah. That stupid little windscreen
Hey, we're old.
used is going for as much as $5, but average is around $1.88 now. For one little stupid windscreen. It's tiny. You got one more. So if you guys act before midnight tonight, you'll get a special deal on this one tonight.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right.
The other one, and we see these all the time in box, is the swords. And the reddish brown with the gold tip, that sucker's like almost $3. Right now, the average in stock is $4.46. We sold it for $3.30. So I was pretty shocked that that was that much.
Came in 4 sets. Is it all CMFs or was it actual sets?
That was a mini.
So the reddish brown
Oh, it's
only
all
came
CMF.
in the Battle Goddess.
Okay.
All the cool
There's
pieces
one that's
only
pearl
come
gold with pearl gold tip, and then dark brown with pearl gold tip. You know, that makes me wonder.
They're all CMFs, yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you want to
Yeah.
really get into some tism with some cool pieces, you get into like knights and stuff. I still think that the coolest sword that Lego has gave us is with the Harry Potter CMF. The goblin from Green Gots that had the red jewel on the bottom of it.
Yeah, you know.
Which sword are you talking about?
Didn't we talk about that on a show?
I don't know, but if
Yeah.
anybody needs one, I got about 30 of them.
Yeah, we did.
So the topic, you know, one of the things you keep talking about is what's good for mocks and what's not. And when we first got into the Bricklink store, we started out, this brick architect guy, Tom Alpin, he's got a pretty good resource page. But when we first started the Bricklink store, we were using his labels, kind of like, well, never mind. That was a bad link.
Oh,
But
I
see
see.
how he's got those labels on there? And then we realized real quick, we got way too many drawers for way too many labels.
And then we ended up putting more than one thing in.
Yeah, but he's got a real good label system for people that have smaller collections. But the purpose of tonight was Tori stumbled on this. And it's the common, uncommon, and rare colors in Lego. And so if you're doing a mock and you're wanting to keep it cheap, you know, stay towards the top of the heap. The farther you go down, the more expensive it's going to get. Now, some of that's changing. Like there's more dark azure out now, and recently more of the light nougat, and medium nougat has come out. So I think next year or so, some of these will move up. But here was the interesting thing to me: the color distribution. The top 10 colors in Lego cover 80% of the parts.
Damn.
Dark
So,
gray.
yeah, light bluish gray is the top. I was surprised that white beat dark bluish gray. And I was honestly surprised that white beat black. I figured there's more black than white, but there's not. So that was kind of cool. So if anybody's looking to do a mock and trying to think about how to do it cost effectively, the best thing to do is think about the colors and how much there has been produced in those colors.
Well, full disclosure, there's no way to do a mock and be any kind of like money saving while doing it.
No, but you can. Yeah, if your choice, you go up here. If your choice is find a way to make darker orange work more as opposed to light nougat, you're going to save something.
I mean, dark orange is expensive.
Yeah.
But even like dark bluish gray, like, I mean, I'm speaking from experience. I mean, like, there's certain parts in just about any color that are going to be expensive. I mean, even in bulk, like the 1x2x3 slopes in dark bluish gray are like 30 some cents a piece.
Yeah.
The 1x2, or sorry, the 1x3 by whatever slopes in white are like 15 cents a piece.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it's
I think a lot of that is the shape affects the price too. But
yeah.
anyway, I just thought it was interesting looking at the color distribution.
Yeah.
But this guy, if you any of you people out there watching, most of you guys are real savvy with this stuff. But if you're just getting into Lego,
is that the guy that sells the element thing, the color chart,
the periodic table?
Yeah.
I think he had them on here for a while, but I don't think they're his. But it was just cool. I mean, that's a breakdown. When you dig into this, it's what type of element and what color patterns they have. Like black's not available at all.
I mean, Lego's definitely given us more and more colors here lately and more pieces of colors.
Yeah.
They still got a ways to go to catch up on everything, though.
Yeah.
Unless you go to that other brick company we don't talk about.
What I'm building right now?
Brickmania.
Oh.
You're right. Yeah, it was just interesting to us.
You know what's really weird though, talking about like what, especially who's in the chat right now and who's on the panel, is what do you think will happen? And I thought about this yesterday. What do you think will happen with the military mockers and the military companies such as Brickmania, Panzer Brick Labs, all of those guys, Brick Veteran, when Lego releases a military green?
Oh, we're gonna lose our absolute minds.
Yeah. I feel like it's weird though, because like I don't even know what shade that would be. Like it would have to be like a mix of like dark green and olive green.
Yeah.
And
But
also,
I mean, you're getting like those weird pale tan, like tan is like dark tan, light tan, tan. There's like another weird tan now.
Yeah, the medium tan.
Yeah.
are you wanting fresh out of the factory olive green, or are you wanting something that's seen 10 years of combat olive green? Really faded and rusty.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they'll ever. I'm trying to think like what the last green was that they even introduced. It
Sand.
Sand.
was it really?
Sand
No.
is dark one.
I guess chartreuse really isn't green, is it?
What? Chartreuse?
Chartreuse, like high vis safety yellow. Didn't they release that not too long ago?
Oh, neon
Neon yellow.
yellow.
Yeah,
Well, that's not green, so
we call it safety green.
I'm not gonna lie. There's definitely bricks in my bins that are different shades of yellow. I cannot tell them apart. And like, yeah, I'm colorblind, but there's no way I'm the only one who can't tell those apart.
Man, what is it with Lego mockers and color blindness?
That's what I'm saying.
I know several people now in this community that are colorblind.
Well, I was getting ragged on Saturday. We were at the GHQ and I was buying a bunch of Crazy Arms, and Nico pulled out the case and they had olive green and dark tan next to each other. I was like, okay, which one of these is dark tan?
I wish you would have told me that you were like buying more.
Well, I bought a bunch in dark tan because I need them for the Japanese for Hacksaw, and then I bought a few in dark bluish gray for the World War I vignette, and I bought one.
But remember, I couldn't get any, so I ended up getting some from you.
Yeah, well, you got the sand green ones.
Yeah,
but he doesn't make the sand green ones, so you could have gotten the other ones online.
You can get the dark tan.
You should. Yeah, they're on his website. Well, they're on his website. Whether they're in stock or not, it's a different story. But they're on his website.
I'll have to
Cameron said sand red and anything. I need Lego to bring it back. Did they? I guess I didn't know sand red disappeared.
look. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
red,
Sand red got
purple.
discontinued like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I guess I'm
Yeah.
sitting on a gold mine over here then.
It's been a long time. Like if you have any of the old was it Sand Red battle droids? Was it Sand Red?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any Sand Red battle droids?
I think I might have a couple.
If you
Dozen.
do, let me know.
I'll have to look. I think I have 2 big shoe boxes full of sand red parts.
That's insane. Yeah, if you have any battle droids, let me know. I will.
Hey, you want to know something really funny? This brick company, Lumi Bricks,
Yeah, they got a fun hole.
whatever, but the tracks that you use are Lego tracks.
Are they really?
Yeah, 1203A-16.
Do they have like the Lego stamp on them?
No, but I'm almost positive that's the Gene. Look up the Lego. Look up this piece.
I'm doing it right now.
Look up
12038. 12038 monocle part.
1203A.
Okay,
1203A.
Apple.
Does not exist.
Nah.
1203 or yeah 1203A-16.
I don't think that's going to provide anything else. Also, does not exist.
Hold on a minute.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the clones that are out there right now are pretty good.
Yeah, but it's weird that this is the only piece that has a part number stamped on it. This is a bag of Lego ones.
Yeah, you talk about the single wide ones, right? The ones I use.
Yeah, so you're right. It's a different. The piece is different where it says Lego on the Lego one.
Yeah,
Is where it's stamped the part number on the other one, but none of these other pieces have part numbers.
interesting.
That's odd. I wonder if they're blue brick.
I'm trying to figure out.
Nothing.
Wow, I'm looking at battle droids. The sand blue super battle droids, new are $82.
Sand blue.
Sand blue.
Okay, now I gotta go and double check.
I'm trying to find the sand red, old school. Where is it? Is it this guy?
Hey, George, did you bring any mocks to show?
Yeah, we can. I can go pretty quick on mine because I said I was gonna take a bunch of pictures at World War Brick. And
Yeah,
I
he
lied.
didn't do that.
I did not. I was rather busy.
Dark orange. No, it's not dark orange. There was a sand red battle droid, right? I'm not like losing my mind.
I own a bunch of them, but the ones that I own are Clone Army Customs.
Well, that's not helpful.
But I think the one you're looking for is not gonna be considered a sand red, isn't it? Like just one piece that's sand red.
Oh no, it's listed as battle droid Geonosian. It's not even listed by color. Is this even what I'm looking for?
Say, didn't it just have like a sand red head or something?
Well, no, I mean the whole figure is sand red. Yeah, these go for like $25 a piece, used.
I had totally forgot that when Clone Army Customs came out with those droids that I bought a bunch, and I have like 50 of them now.
Yeah,
Cameron said metallic blue, Caden. Metallic.
metallic. Well, the Bricklink ID is metallic sand blue or whatever the hell it said.
I thought it was a colorblind crack. My bad.
I can read, okay? I just can't, I can't see.
Okay. This was done by Jake, the guy that rode the Jeep with you. And I mean, it's 3 kits. One of them's mine, but I just like the Hurt Locker reference. So
The bomb suits.
bomb suits. That's what I wanted to do with this was EOD guys, but maybe another set.
Is that like the mine rake on it?
Yeah.
Nice.
The buffalo. Come back.
I really like that Humvee in the back.
That one right there.
Yeah.
Trying to remember which one that was. It's one of the 2 or 3 ago, maybe.
Well, remember, we need about 4 of those.
Oh, well, I have like 15 Humvees. Plus, they're easy to make out of 10 parts. Oh, it's not going to zoom in.
Does that say what I think it says?
It does.
Nice.
What does it say?
Slamming his dad jokes.
That checks out.
Sea boob?
The-
Hey,
Yeah,
Caden,
but flip it upside down.
Oh,
Caden,
I
I
get
found
that.
did you find the Sandrid droids?
I did. Yeah, the Battle Droid Geonosian.
Yep.
Yep.
$25 a piece used.
He said
Yep.
boobies.
Boobies. Funny.
Another one. I mean, the theme this year was apocalyptic, so here's a little Fallout.
Yeah, I didn't
Mock.
get that memo. I mean,
Yeah,
I did, but I didn't care.
Yeah, no. There wasn't very many people that actually built apocalyptic. I think maybe.
It was him, Colton, and one other maybe.
George,
I
I
might
don't think I
seen
told
2 more.
you this. Haley was upstairs talking about how she hasn't she's watched all of her shows. She started watching Walking Dead, and I told her, I was like, look, around season 5, you're gonna get really bored.
Yes.
That came along, so she skipped to see if it would get any better, and it didn't. Now I've got her watching Fallout.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay, I've been told I need to watch it, but I've never played any of the games. Like, I have no idea.
I've never played any of the games, and I love the show.
It's a little difficult for her because she didn't really understand nuclear blasts and radiation.
Sure.
But once you get that, you're gonna understand it.
I've heard it takes a hot minute to kind of warm up, but
The first episode is it doesn't take long at all to warm up. The first episode is seeing someone's face get ripped open by a glass pitcher that's shattered.
interesting.
She stabs and rips.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that all
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
on
yeah.
screen?
Yeah.
Yikes. All right, so watch it during the day then. Got it.
6 o'clock in the morning while you're drinking coffee.
Yeah. I'm at work by before 6 a.m. I'll just watch it when I get home from work.
Is that the trailer park?
This was Colton's mock.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know Caden follows him on Instagram. I don't know if you did, Richard, ever followed along with this build.
What's his name?
DRC
DRC 33 to the 33 power.
Yeah, times 33
How's it going, Jason?
divided by the square root of 33.
I like how we got this telephone, or not telephone pole, power line.
Yeah.
Kind of look like it's bent, falling in the wind.
Oh, Dr. C3333 has made an appearance in chat.
Oh, I thought he was here earlier.
Again, he was here earlier, but he's back.
Ah, like Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I would say he heard too many 3s in a row.
Yeah, we summoned him.
Every time I look at his name, I'm like, oh, that's Dre.
Yeah.
Here's a classic space deal that Jake put together, which surprises me because he usually does modern military stuff. Young kid, and then this stuff's came out 30 years before he was ever even thought of.
Most of that's probably his dad's old collection. You gotta think, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was Eric's, but they were telling me some of these base plates, what they paid for them on Bricklink to get them.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, buddy.
Yep.
I love classic space, but I don't love it that much.
That's what I'm saying.
But
if you buy the base plates and invert them, you could probably use them for the deck of the Burke.
probably. But I think he got interviewed on the local news channel up there. I don't know if Beyond the Brick talked to him, but I know we did on the World War Brick YouTube channel. So that'll probably post 2 days before the next show.
Yep. Yeah, I don't even think when you and I talked about Mount Yay last year, I don't think that ever got posted.
It hasn't been posted yet, and it probably never will.
I have noticed something about you, George.
What's that?
When you get here on this show behind the camera, you are fine. The minute there's 50 people sitting in front of you, you start blushing and bashful.
Oh,
and
What are you talking about?
You should see this man when me and all the boys are sitting front row and center, and he's up there either doing the charity auction or running something, and we're just messing with him the whole time.
The videos that someone took of him, and it reminds me of like a parent that's filmed their kid graduating walking across stage.
There are a lot of videos of George.
Yeah.
Every picture that shows anything, George is in the background making some face like while he's talking to somebody.
Yeah, because I think George, you posted the picture of you, me, and Cameron, and we're wearing your shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did that make it on Facebook?
Bodyguards. Oh, I don't know. I know it ended up on mine. I think Cameron posted it. I thought you posted it somewhere.
I might have.
Hey, Caden, you have a George shirt?
Of course.
Me and you and Haley need to wear them with like a little sign somewhere that says, "Have you seen this guy?"
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
We'll post up and take a picture together and send it to him at Brick Fair and just be like, "Missing you."
So I think when I interviewed Jake, he was saying this is supposed to be like a uranium mine or something in outer space.
Interesting.
But man, there's some really good classic sets in here.
Yeah.
I like the classic sets to look at, but I'm not a classic space fan.
No.
I wasn't
had fun with
alive
them when I was younger.
I never
And
got
then
into
this, the coup de grace.
Oh my god.
Jake and Eric.
Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
That's beautiful.
Bought the instructions for this on Rebrickable, and then had Slam do all this printing. So this is the one auction or the video I sent you, Richard, or maybe not. That was a really long one. I think John posted it on
You
Facebook.
sent me like 3 of them.
But this sold for $2,750.
That's awesome, though.
Holy crap.
Yeah, really sold it to Matt.
I really feel like it should have gone a lot higher. But yeah, Matt McDivitt was the one that wound up buying it. So it got down to
Matt's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
Matt's
No, I have a lot of respect for Matt. So I'm sure he doesn't watch this show, and maybe I'll tell you the story later. So
Matt, I will say, me and him were like, I had a weird experience first meeting him, not because of him, and I don't know if I've ever told this story before, but I go to a convention down in South Carolina. I was kind of like regretting going down there and dreading it. Get all the way down there. Haley stayed up here. I set up by myself and had like the castle and everything, and had a lot of fun with the guys down there that Friday night. Well, Saturday morning we get there, they open the door and everything else, and like it was just bad weather. Nobody really came out, and it was like, it's bad to say it, but I felt like I wasted a lot of my time getting everything down there, driving all that way, and like just seeing like what I seen. But whatever, like crap happens. So I'm like sitting there walking around away from my mock and totally bored, and I just seen this guy over there, and he's like standing near the mock, and I'm like, oh, maybe he's taking pictures or something, but he's just like on his phone. 10 minutes later, he's like still there. 10 minutes later, he's still there, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? So I go over there, and it was Matt. But the way he like introduced himself, like I had no idea it was him.
Yeah.
well, I think Caden knows the story that I'll wait till we get off the air to talk about. I'm pretty sure several of the younger generation in the chat that was at World War Brick saw what I was carrying around most of the weekend. So
Oh yeah. We're very familiar with your story.
yeah. I don't know if Richard knows the story, but we'll have to tell him he has to have Matt explain it to him.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure if you ask him at Brick Fair, Matt will tell you.
Oh, I'm
I
sure he
wanted to
will.
start this week off with something I have yet to formally do. But while we are talking about putting George on the spot, George, I need you to do me a favor.
See, senor.
Explain to everybody what we got going on.
Oh, okay. So if you've never been part of a brick starter campaign, plank owner, this is the, oh crap, I got a picture. It's level 1. Hold on. I screenshotted this the other day because I was thinking I was going to have to talk about it. So this is the E3 semen level. No laughs, really. So this one's $70 on brickmania.com. So basically you get what you see in the picture. You get the minifigure, the 1x2 tile, which you can print either your name on it or something clever and funny. And then you also get the kit, and the front part of that base is a 1x8 brick badge that says I helped Brix design, or I helped build the 1/35th scale USS Arleigh Burke destroyer with Brix design. And then it's got a picture of the ship on it. You get one copy of the printed tile goes to you, and then one copy comes to me to put on the display plaque that goes anywhere the ship goes. So, and then the next level, if you'll scroll so kindly, good sir, is the E7 Chief Petty Officer level. You get a, oh, I lied to you on the price on that last one because my employee discount's showing. So anyways, oops. This is the E7 Chief Petty Officer level. So you get the MK32 torpedo launchers, not rocket launchers, Richard.
They shoot torpedoes out them things.
What an idiot.
A same minifigure, but with the E7 Chief Petty Officer rank on his collar here. And then you get the option to print on 1x4 tile.
Are they not different hats?
The hats are all the same. The belts colors should change, and then the rank on the collar should change.
Gotcha.
I think that's all the changes on the minifigure.
We'll probably forget that by the time we get them in August anyway. So
Yeah.
Probably. So then the next one is the 03 lieutenant level, which the insignia changes on his collar. You get a 1x6 tile, which I think you can print up to 40 characters on the first line, maybe 40 on the second.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. And I've seen some pretty creative stuff on the Macon plank owner and the Sammy B plank owner. So, and that's an MK 45 5-inch gun. And it comes with a brick. All three of them each come with a 1x8 badge brick that you can take out of that display stand and put it on your, oh, what the heck do you call it? Brick badge.
brick badge.
Yeah. So, and then the captain's level is all three of them with a fourth minifigure, which is a captain, obviously. And then you get only get the 1x8 tile that you get printed on. You get a copy. Copy comes to me. So
I got a question because I did not know this. You mean that when me and Caden do this, we not only get a tile on the boat, but we also get a duplicate tile to keep?
you get a duplicate copy for yourself to keep.
Oh my god. I'm gonna put mine on the top of my badge. I am so ready.
Yes,
I was
and
gonna say,
then
mine is going everywhere.
you will get a serialized number on a tile that tells you what order you placed your order.
Nice.
I don't really get that, but
I was gonna say I don't understand that one.
I think it was kind of a initiative to try to get the lowest number, maybe.
I mean, I guess
got in
it's
early.
more like a pre-order, not pre-order only, but like a limited run thing that, like, you'll kind of have, okay, we made, 387. You were number, 104.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
It's kind of like those NASCAR diecast cars you got coming your way, Richard. They were like one of.
Yeah, I've never understood that because like
10,000.
you'll never get a chance to get one of the original like first couple, so it just never to get a 1 or a 5 or something is kind of like unheard of.
Yeah.
And then
So, right-
what happens when you buy all 3?
We just talked about that.
Yeah, he just said that.
But you talked about the minifig, right?
Yeah, if you buy all 3, you get the 4th minifigure, which is the captain.
All right.
So
And you get the 1x8 tile.
I should have sent you close-up pictures of the figs because the detail that Amanda got in that hat.
You mean like that right there?
Oh, well, look at there. Yeah, the detail Amanda got in that hat and even on the name badge. Holy crap.
Brother, we got technology over here.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize the render I sent you was that great.
I
Oh,
thought
yeah, zoom in on that brick.
I thought the hats were the same. I mean, different.
No, they should all be the same. I might be wrong, but
Maybe it's just the angle.
could be.
They look
Slam-
identical.
Slam wanted to print. I like George enough to send him money for his big ass boat.
That would have been. I want my something.
Yeah, I want mine to say that.
He's supposed to print some of those brick badges for me so I can hand them out.
Cascadia said, I decided that I'm going to order the MK45 5-inch gun this weekend, just waiting for my paycheck to come in first. I'm also going to try it and snag the World War Brick T60 power armor figure too.
There you go.
Much appreciated, Cascadia. I know a couple people in the chat that have already bought. So
I'm waiting till the last minute.
I'm waiting on you to wait for the last minute.
I was going to say, technically, I ain't got to wait anymore. First this week, this thing got released. It's another one of the weird, like, I don't
Book Nook things.
Yeah, well, it's not even a book nook. It's like a book.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but it doesn't close.
Well, it's not supposed to. It's kind of
No, it's just
the
like,
aesthetic of it.
I don't know.
I mean, it's small, but it's detailed. I like it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I mean, I probably won't buy it, but you know.
Yeah, I was saying, it's not for me. I couldn't even tell you what a Jane Austen book is.
I mean, I know the name, but yeah, I couldn't name a book.
Next up, we got all the pictures for the One Piece sets. Finally,
Here we go.
Yeah, I was like, here we go again. Both the Brickheads, it's Buggy and Monkey. We get Buggy, the clown circus tent. I think that because this is only $30, which I don't really think is that bad of a price point.
No, it looks about on par with what you would have looked to be $30.
Yeah, it looks like it's got a bunch of play features.
Printed. Yeah,
I don't know if that stuff's printed or not.
it's hard to
No,
tell.
it's not. It's not.
That's
You can
stickers.
see the
Oh,
line.
no, that's 100% sticker.
Next up, you're getting the Village Hut. I think this one's like 30 also. Next, this one at Arlong Park is, I think this one's the 70. Which, I don't know, depending on, I mean, that right there looks like it's quite a bit. I mean, $70 for 930 pieces is really good right now.
Yeah.
Jason, I'll be honest with you, I couldn't name a book that Jane Austen wrote.
I know the name, but
Yeah,
I'm
I know the
drawing a
name, and I
blank.
feel like calling her last name Austen because it's spelled like that is really bad.
Andrew's saying that Jane Austen thing is going to be a GWP, so
Yeah,
maybe I'll get it by accident.
it's a gift with purchase. Then we're getting the Going Merry. I think this is pretty cool. I love that we're getting like a big sale versus this thing being brick built. And then last but not least, the Barati, which is $299, but it's pretty freaking big.
3,400 pieces.
Yeah, it has. I don't have a picture of it, but the back of it is literally like this thing's pretty thick, and it's full of different rooms with stuff inside of each one.
You said it's how much? 300
Yeah,
for 3,400 pieces. Try and compare that because the Shire was what 260.
yes.
Yeah, that's pretty good because the Shire's got only about just over 2,000 pieces. So that's actually
Yeah,
pretty good.
like price point wise, these things are amazing.
Yeah. Wow, if only they could do that with like any other theme, that'd be awesome.
That'd be fantastic.
They don't
Yeah.
have that Star Wars tax on them.
Yeah. Lucky you.
And these are all the minifigs.
What the hell is wrong with that dude's arms?
You need to watch the show.
I mean, I don't, but
You watch. Look, you watch the Goonies. Watch the episode, not the cartoon, but watch Netflix.
The live action.
Yeah.
I kind of like the beard on the blonde chef dude right there.
That is actually a chef. You did a great job.
Yeah,
I like the two guys above him.
with the sword.
Zorro.
Yeah.
Zorro and Indiana Jones.
Yeah. No, you need to watch the show.
Yeah.
Next we're gonna put somebody else on the spot because I thought George was gonna do this, but he didn't do it, so I'm doing it.
Who built that?
I don't know, but that guy's not holding his gun right.
Some weird guy had sold this guy a bunch of figures for this build.
Yeah, I recognize those figs. Pretty nice.
I'm gonna let you know right now. Flash suppressors or anything of that would never have a gun that does that.
Yeah, fact.
You're completely wrong.
Yeah, that dude's falling the wrong way after he got blasted with an AK.
I want to know why the guy with the M60 in the back's not laying down suppressive fire. It looks like he's running away or hiding behind somebody.
He's going to post up somewhere.
What scene did I miss out of the Matrix? Which one is this? Is this Matrix 2?
Well, so in the original layout for this, before I had the Brickmania figs, I had my sand green figs on it, and I had the crazy arm. So he was in the original setup. That dude was like holding a flower, like for the GSW. And then when I got and they bought all the stuff from George, those figures are the wrong color, and I don't have crazy arms for them. So he's just kind of like flying backwards.
He got force blasted by Vader.
Yeah.
And like the guy's holding the gun by the firing angle right here.
No, he's holding behind it. It's fine.
You don't put your hand on the barrel. That's like a number one rule.
It's on the handguard.
Looks like It's K Today says looks like the soldier fell into the drilled hole.
Yeah.
Trip hazard.
I don't think actually no, that build might there's no way that build on that plate.
Oh, that'd be funny if it was.
Hold on. Now I'm getting
You got him nervous, It's K.
You're supposed to be describing to us what these are. She looks way too happy to be getting shot.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know why those two Viet Cong figs have like the ancient flesh Leia face.
This is the most modern thing you've done, right?
Yeah, technically. And actually that will probably remain the most modern thing that I do, because the next two that I'm doing for the Marine Corps show are World War I and Korea. So
You're not doing anything for Fallujah or anything?
I don't think so. I mean, I certainly could, but my plan was to do Revolutionary through Korea or through Vietnam.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think inevitably, like if I continue to do the vignettes, and not even just specifically Marines, but just in general, I might do some more modern stuff. I think technically the most modern I will get build wise will be our collab next year, which I'm still not spoiling yet, but that'll probably be as far modern as we get.
Fantastic mock.
Well, thank you.
Well, I was gonna say these vignettes look better and better each time you do one. These things look great.
Yeah, that one I built in about, I think the last time I was on, I was fig bashing figures, and then literally so that would have been a Wednesday. So that Friday, I sat down after work and built that in about 3 hours and took it to a show Saturday morning.
Yeah, I think all the vignettes you brought were pretty top notch.
Everything you've done lately has been killer. Now you just got to live up to the hype of that on every single other build you do. So
that's fine. I feel like I normally do. I like to think so, at least. Which
I'm trying to get to the subject of the show. This is why you keep wrangling in them trophies.
Yeah. I gotta add the one to the shelf.
I'm really surprised, by the way, that you didn't say anything about the thumbnail.
I honestly spent the first 15 minutes after it having been posted in chat trying to comprehend what all was going on. Am I eating it and George is trying to pull it out, or is George trying to force feed?
So you've seen the meme where it shows the guy chewing on the first place medal?
Yeah.
That's what I thought about. But I was like, I was
Got it.
trying to figure out like how to do it, and I was like, well, I was like, it'd be funnier to show like him, like somebody trying to pull it away from him, like, no, Caden, don't do that. And then I done that, and I sent it to George, and George was like, yeah, call it like wrangling them trophies or something like that. And I was like, okay, deal.
Because the shirt that I have on, I have like a shirt and chain, and it's like all I do is win.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I have like this app that I showed it to George the other day. I literally like just tell it to like the last 5 thumbnails I've had. Everything in it has been like different
Like
images
AI generated.
Yeah, that's like some type of AI generated thing.
Yeah.
I was like, show me some guy that has all I do is win on a shirt, and that's what it came up with.
That's pretty great.
It does kind of look like I'm like web shooting it at you.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. No, that was a good one. At least I have eyes this week.
I think
Yes.
from here on out, these thumbnails are going to have a lot more. I'm not going to say adult theme, but we're going to get a little more
Like
they're
inside
gonna-
jokes and stuff going on.
Yeah, we're going to see how far we can push it.
Yeah.
Next up, somebody sent me this to show. I follow this guy, and I thought that I've showed this before, but it can't be because he's just built this, which is mean I've shown another one of his builds. But this is the Lego corner.
I almost
Okay,
screenshotted this to show.
I saw this one too.
This is really cool.
I hope you have the picture I'm thinking of. I really love how he tied that building in to the vignette base.
Well, I've been paying a lot of attention to a lot of other people's builds on how they're attaching minifigs and equipment to these tanks. I still have yet to find where those bags come from.
Which ones?
The 2 that are right here.
Those
Those
are the
That's the
shoulder.
Just cut the strap off.
Yeah, they just cut the strap
Wow.
off.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That
Oh
That-
wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like that.
Just flows right through.
yeah.
That and it's a great little tank design.
I'm not I'm assuming this is Italian,
They look British to me.
Yeah, I mean it would be
British.
British.
I have no idea anything about British tanks.
Brody's.
I mean those figures are definitely British.
Well, I,
Yeah,
mean,
the
I know
figures
about the Brodies, but I've never seen. I don't know what tank this is.
I don't either. I mean, my initial thought was Universal Carrier, but that's way too big to be a Universal Carrier.
And it's
It
not
looks-
it's not a Churchill at all.
It looks like
No.
a variant of a Sherman without a turret.
Brick Gunner said it could be Canadian.
Could be a kangaroo. I don't know.
That's Australian.
Kickapoo.
See, but those are British paratroopers, so
Yeah,
This
British SAS, or not SAS, paratroopers.
British parachuters, yeah.
he said he thinks he's called the kangaroo. I
I
don't know.
told you.
I'm not saying y'all are wrong. I told you I didn't know what it was.
I think it
Next
is a
up-
kangaroo.
Next up, we have
Here we go
these,
again.
These designs from Doug. This is up George's alley once again. Tankers.
It's Optimus Prime.
I did do a flat nose KW in dark blue for a commission one time for a guy's birthday.
I have no idea what a KW is, but okay.
Kenworth. Come on, man. We can't
What
be
is-
friends anymore.
Is that a Freightliner?
I
Or
like
is a
that.
Mac?
Seems to be missing a wall in the trailer.
Yeah, it was missing a front
And a roof.
and a roof.
Yeah, and a roof. I do like the inverted wedge plates on the nose there.
Yeah.
That's an
That's really
interesting technique.
And then I guess these are some hets. I don't know what the differences are. Like
One's
I can
got
see the
dark tan
differences, but
doors.
do what?
One's got dark tan doors and armor plating. The other one doesn't.
Yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
know if there's like two different. I guess there's two different versions.
Well, it's just up armored.
Seeing this though reminded me that I literally have a bag down, well, 3 bags down here with all the pieces to build the Brickmania hits because I have. I was gonna not do a vignette, but show a scene down here on one of the shelves with the Buffalo, the Abrams, and the Paladin in this. But that's all I brought to the show this week. I've got a true a mock that I'm really, really proud of like showing, but I'm gonna wait till next week. I decided just because this was like I knew we were gonna go off on some type of tangent.
So you're saying we weren't going to stay on track and keep track of time?
I mean, technically, we kind of talked about what we were going to talk about.
Kind of.
Caden did win.
I did win.
I will say that I am extremely. Brick Fair needs to step their game up, and y'all need to name these trophies different.
Who is y'all?
The only person in the chat that wears a Brick Fair staff shirt. How about that?
I have nothing to do with that. They just tell me what to nominate. That's all my job is.
What do the trophies for Brick Fair even look like? Oh, I think I know what they look like. Never mind. You got one handy, though?
I do not. I've never won.
Keep them, though, right?
You get to keep them. You don't get to keep the nomination flags, but you get to keep the
trophy.
The trophy, yeah.
Oh, see, at Brick Days, if you get nominated, I mean, they put a flag up.
Yeah.
But if you don't win the trophy, you get a little
Brick World does the same thing.
Nominated creation, which I got a mountain of those, but I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4 trophies.
World War Brick is the only show I've ever won an award at. I've been going to Brick
damn.
for 12 years. Crazy. I did build a mock while we were sitting here, though.
What'd you build?
Built an airplane.
I assembled some not so random
randos
bodies that Amanda may have dropped in my box as she walked by. So
I have some kiltless bagpipe figures sitting on my desk right now.
That's awesome.
So it's not a question of what they're wearing beneath the kilt because they don't even have the kilt.
Exactly. Yeah, and they even printed underwear on there, which is kind of crazy. The kilts are busy on some Scottish Highland infantry in the First World War.
Tyler said that.
Sent me this set and shorted me a piece.
Tyler said the trailer is done and it's a United one. I was trying to remember what moving company that was.
Nice.
Well, do I message them and be like, y'all screwed up?
Yeah, tell them that one of the parts fell in your fun hole and you need a replacement.
Well, it's a 1x10, so it's not like it's just like mysteriously.
Wow, I think where they come from, they call that keystring.
Keystring?
Yeah,
that could be.
I think we just found a new inside joke.
Yeah. Keystring a 1x10.
Whatever goes on the docking bay stays on the docking bay.
That's facts.
Oh Lord, I can't wait to see all these planks.
Oh, it's gonna be fantastic. I'm so ready for it.
Yeah, the only one I know so far is what my dad put on there because him and I both have the same name, and customer service is like, why would George order his own plank owner kit?
What a loser.
It's not senior, junior?
No, he's different middle names. So
okay.
But yeah, that would be weird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
there's a senior hit.
$400 when I'm trying to raise money for a ship. Hey, Jake Snyder just popped in.
Nice.
What's going on, Jake? You missed the train. You can go back and watch it later.
It's true.
Yeah.
Very true.
I'll say it's getting to be my bedtime.
Yeah, I was going to
Since you
say, it's about time.
We're tapping up against that time.
About time to shut this thing down. Have anybody got anything cool going on this week?
I got a lot of work on Hacksaw to do. That's about it.
I've got a renter moving out of one of my properties that I have to go look at that I haven't been inside in 5 or 6 years. I'm really scared to see what it looks like. So
Nice.
yeah,
It sounds fun.
All I'm hearing is more
supposed to be
Lego
racing
space.
this weekend.
I'll be going with doing some birthday things with the wife and family this weekend.
Nice.
Is it your birthday or her birthday?
Hers.
Oh, well, happy birthday, Haley.
Hers was last weekend, but we're kind of like just celebrating it now.
Okay, happy belated birthday.
Better you say better late than never, right?
But
What you up to, Gene?
We got a Bronco event down near Charlotte Saturday morning, a baseball game Saturday night. Sunday's Father's Day.
Oh yeah, it is Father's Day this weekend.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day.
Well, thank you. That's better than my kids will do, probably.
Oh,
Rip.
well, Gene,
Now,
if you hear
they
from
actually came to town a couple weeks ago and did it early.
you hearing it from us is kind of like the same thing because you're old enough to be all of our fathers.
True.
Yep, pretty much.
oh, hold on a second. Papa Trip coming in with the jokes.
Back from a cruise around the hall, and you guys are still yapping.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
We were
It's 'cause
waiting
we were
just for you
waiting
to
on
say
him.
goodnight, Papa.
I mean, somebody let
We're
Richard
waiting
hit
on Papa
record,
Trip.
so
I think what
Guys,
he's telling us is
it's
that
been fun.
we're more interesting than what's going on at Brick World.
I mean, yeah, why would you have fun at Brick World where you could just sit on here and listen to us talk about stupid stuff for 2 hours?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kaden didn't drill any Lego tonight, though. I'm kind of disappointed. We'll have to step that up next week.
Did not drill any Lego. No, that's gonna be the like Patreon only from here on out.
But it has been fun. We will be back next week. We're trying to pack this things with guests, so next week we will have another guest who has been on the show before. I'll tell them after we end it who's going to be on here. I'm not going to tell y'all because I think Caden's going to be excited to hear who it is for George because I don't think George knows this guy. But thank everybody for watching. Like I said, we'll be back next week. If you just now getting here, just rewatch the whole thing and see actually how dumb we are. This isn't a very intellectual show.
It's a good dopamine dump.
Peace.
Yeah. Clicks and clacks, building blocks, let's begin. Stacks on stacks, with beards we always win. In a world of plastic, our minds spin. Brick by brick, where do we dive in? Brickin with the beard, we never stop. Talking pieces, colors, go.